Y'all, hey, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for stopping by. Y'all, looky out there. Can y'all see that mess? It's snowing. Well, it's not actually snowing, but it snowed. And the intern's out of town, which means I had to shovel. Now, don't get all crazy. I didn't plow or nothing, but I shoveled. And I don't even care. Ain't nothing gonna break my stride. You know why? Because it's time to start reading Christmas rom-coms. So, well, I tell you what, y'all go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you can keep up with the shenanigans. I'll give you a second to do that, and then I'll tell you what we're up to. Speaking of nothing in particular, y'all, did y'all see this cute cup I stole from the intern? It's like wood topped and glass sided. It's all fancy. Way too fancy and fragile for me, but it's even got a glass straw. I couldn't resist. So anyway, like I said, pertaining to nothing. So when last we spoke, well, not when last we spoke, but when last we read together, y'all may recall, I think the last book we read together on our holiday read-along was, I'm gonna say A Merry Little Meet Cute. That's nothing. That has nothing to do with anything. It was The Night Before Christmas. Oh, y'all, so cute. I did finish that before last time we spoke, right? So cute, such a good ending. It was very good. Did I tell y'all? And I'm telling y'all in a video, not even about that book, but I told y'all there was some spice, right? Like there was some spice, but not like hard spice, but there was some spice. So anyway, that's not what we're talking about. So at the end of that one, I was going to read How My Neighbor Stole Christmas. And then as I was like I was literally fixing to start this, like I was going to finish the other one and start this one. And so if y'all have been around for a minute, you know I have this student to whom I refer as my 16-year-old best friend. Y'all, she is not. She is my student. Let's not get it twisted. Don't be sending me messages about why am I hanging out with 16-year-olds. First of all, quit it. I'm not. And secondly, if I were, is that how you would address it? By sending me message? Anyway, let's get started with that. So my student emailed me as I was finna start this book and said, hey, remember that? I have to read Scarlet Letter, and there's no way I'm going to read this book by this crusty old white man unless you read it with me, was the gist of what she wrote. So I had to not read what I wanted to read and read the Scarlet Letter, which y'all, I didn't want to read the Scarlet Letter when I had it assigned to me 40 years ago. I did not want to read the Scarlet Letter when I taught it when I was teaching in the public schools. I don't want to read the Scarlet Letter now, but I read it. We're still working our way through it, but I have read it. So now I can get back to reading what I want to read. So y'all, we finna jump into How My Neighbor Stole Christmas. I don't know if this is focusing. I don't know if y'all can even see this. If not, I will drop in a picture over this thing because this book is so cute. So this is it Megan Quinn? Megan Quinn, whose name I keep seeing everywhere. There are lots of books out there by Megan Quinn. So I really want to like this, because I want to like her and I want to start reading her books. And y'all know that if there's anything that we need, it's more books to read. We don't need that at all. But anyway, more authors to love, more things to be obsessed with. No, we need none of those things. But I think we're going to like her because I love the cover of that book. So let me tell you what it's about. I don't know. Who's surprised? Nobody is surprised. I think I knew more about it before. How many times do we have this conversation? I think I knew more about this book before. I know. Welcome to being of a certain age. So I believe it is. So I think it's small town. So we're going to have that small town. Y'all know how we love small town Christmas charm. I believe we're going to have some small town Christmas charm and some kind of like over the top town decorating for Christmas. And something happens. I don't know how. The neighbor does something and makes us unable to decorate something, like steals our Christmas joy, steals our figgy pudding. I don't know, but something's going to happen. So as y'all can see, y'all probably know exactly where I am. I'm on my way to the Walmart. I got to pick up my prescription refill and grab some groceries. Then I'm going to head home, get up on the couch and read because, like I said, the intern, I mean, not that I don't, y'all know we adore our intern, but when the intern is away, the cat will play, which means I'm going to sit on the couch with the dogs and read books. So let me grab my stuff. I'm going to go to the house and read, and then I'll come back later and let you know what I actually know about what this book's about instead of me just, oh, I get to go, instead of me just making up stuff. So I'll be back in a while and let you know what we know. Dang it, y'all. I meant to check in, which is before I got on the bike and got to riding and reading, which of course I wasn't reading the book on the bike. I was reading my Kindle on the bike. But I was reading How My Neighbor Stole Christmas on the bike, and I wanted to talk to you about it before, and now I'm all sweaty and dirty, and I still got to check in because I'm going to have some more time this afternoon to read, and I don't want to get all ahead of myself and forget what I told you. So I'm going to do a quick check-in, let you know what I know, and then I'll come back later and tell you some more once I'm, cleaned up a bit. So I'm debating. I'm going to take down this hair, y'all, but I know I'm going to regret it. So let me tell you what we know. I think when I talked to you before, I knew nothing. So now I know some things. Our main character, Story. I know, her name is Story. Hang on. Let me give y'all a big old caveat here. This is not a serious book, y'all. It's very fun. It's very Christmassy. It's very small town. It's lots of tropes. But if you're looking for a Scarlet Letter Goes to Christmas kind of serious book, this is not the one. So if you're going to get mad, I've read some, y'all know how I love I love 5-star reviews and I love 1-star reviews because I like to see what people hate about books, and people like this book is pretty, I want to say it's like a 4 something on Goodreads, but it's all super high and super low. So yeah, sorry, but I'm gonna stop touching it. I'm gonna stop touching my hair because it's a mess. Anyway, people hate it. Some people hate it because it truly is just it's sappy and it's cheesy and it's a Christmas rom-com, y'all, and I love it. Love it. So I'm going to get that out of the way before I tell you that our main character's name is Story, and she and her sister Taryn go to this Christmassy town in Colorado called Kringletown. No, y'all, it seriously is. So if you get past Kringletown and you're not okay, this is cheesy and I love it, and you keep reading, that's your fault, not the book's fault. So I'm going to put that on you. So anyway, Story and her sister go to Kringletown to take care of Aunt Cindy because Aunt Cindy broke her hip. Seriously, y'all, every trope. So Aunt Cindy is old. She broke her hip. She needs somebody to come take care of her. And I'm already starting to forget stuff, but I think the original plan was that Story was going to take care of Aunt Cindy, but Story's just not of the taking care of somebody ilk. So Taryn, who is a nurse, ends up staying to take care of Aunt Cindy. And as always, I'm trying to decide how much to tell. So Kringletown has this contest called the Christmas Kringle. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. So we meet Story, and through Story we meet, so she's our FMC. Through her we meet our MMC, whose name is Cole, and y'all, he's Hottie McHottie, of course. And she runs into him when she first gets to town, and she kind of, the interaction, there's banter there that makes us think maybe there's something going on, or there's a past between them, because Story and her sister used to come to Kringletown for Christmas every year. Hang on a second, y'all. Used to come to Kringletown every year for Christmas, and then for some reason they stopped, or Story stopped or something. So maybe there's something between Story and Cole from before, but I don't know that yet. So I'll figure it out. Maybe I'll tell you, maybe I won't. But anyway, so we meet Cole, and Story calls him Connor for some reason. I don't know if she's just kind of teasing him. I don't know what's happening. If she's flirting badly, I don't know. But anyway, so we meet Cole, who's a hottie, and grumpy. He is a grumpy. So he might end up being a grumpy sunshine, but the banter, y'all know how I love me some good banter. The banter between them is really good. The dialogue, all the dialogue is good. The sister dialogue, the auntie dialogue. I might have to grab that felon. We'll see if she settles down. So anyway, we're in Kringletown, where Story is supposed to be taking care of the auntie, but she's not gonna because she's no good at that. So Taryn stays to take care of the auntie. And auntie's like, oh, that's great. That frees Story up to enter the Christmas Kringle contest. The what? Yeah. So there's a contest, this like competition in town to see who's going to represent the town as the most Christmassy person, like the Christmas Kringle. So Aunt Cindy, I think it's Aunt Cindy. Excuse me a second. Did I tell y'all that the intern and I have figured out that we are not the owners of the Furry Felons, we are their staff? Yeah. Anyway, so what was I saying? So Aunt Cindy is the reigning Christmas Kringle. But now she's got the busted hip, so she can't enter the contest. So now Story's going to have to represent Aunt Cindy in the Christmas Kringle contest. So that's as far as I've gotten. And for some reason, Cole is mad that Story is entering the contest. So now Cole's going to have to, Cole, who is like Mr. Grumpy, wants nothing to do with Christmas, like bah humbug, Scrooge, is going to have to enter the Christmas Kringle contest. So that's as far as I've gotten. And I think the Christmas Kringle contest is like different competitions. So they're going to have to like do things like, lights and things compete with each other. So that's going to do like, we're going to have forced proximity between Story and Grumpy Sunshine, Hottie McHottie, Neighbor Cole. Y'all, all the tropes. Y'all know I love them. And of course, so we're in like the small winter town. Hello, it's Christmas. We have all the Christmas tropes. I'm in love already. So yes, let me go. I'm going to get cleaned up. I'm going to read some more, and I'll be back later and let y'all know when I know some more. All right, y'all. I'm about to get on the bike, and I actually remembered to come talk to you about how my neighbor stole Christmas before I go out there and read some more. A pretty good amount of, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I'm a fairly good distance through the book. I almost said good amount of a way through the book, but that's not English. So I'm almost done. I'm about 3/4 of the way done, I guess. And I meant to check back in yesterday, and I don't, as usual, don't really remember what I told you. So Story is in Kringletown or Kringleville, whatever it is, to help take care of her Auntie Cindy, who fell down and broke her hip. Well, turns out it was all kind of a trick, that they just wanted her. Well, she ends up being in the competition for the Christmas Kringle, like the most like Christmassy person in the town. And she's not sure if it was all just a trick, like if they knew that they wanted her to compete for the Christmas Kringle and that her sister was going to end up taking care of Aunt Cindy, because that's like not really Story's bag. So anyway, she and her sister used to come to this town as kids for Christmas. Well, then she stopped coming after she did something and embarrassed herself. So she just stopped coming back. And she lives in California, so she hates the cold, I think we're in Colorado, hates the whole thing. So she starts out, well, she's kind of Grumpy Sunshine. And we meet the Hottie McHottie Grumpy Sunshine neighbor, who, when he hears that Story is going to compete for Christmas Kringle, he's like, she ain't going to be my Kringle. So then he enters the competition, even though he's had nothing to do with Christmas for years and years as well. So now we're learning all of these things about like why, like her issues and really his issues. And now their issues have sort of like come together. And let me back up and tell you that. So I told y'all there are these different competitions they have to do. Like there's competitions for like best lighting and like best hot chocolate and best all the things. So they keep ending up competing. And of course they end up like thrown together. And one of the times they were like together in a store and ended up under the mistletoe or something. And they smooched. So then there became this whole fake dating thing. And then it became like a fake dating thing. So now there's this whole like thing between them. And y'all, that's like, I just gave away absolutely nothing. You're probably like, spoiler alert. It's really not, because it's so obvious from the jump. Because one, it's a rom-com, y'all, seriously. But anyway, so there's this whole like thing around that. And I'm trying not to say much, but I warned y'all before that people hate this book because it's just so cutesy and so Christmassy and so all of those things. It seriously is. But to me, it's not in an annoying way. Like it's, oh, look at the cover. It is the type of book that you would think, like it's the content that you would think would be encased in a cover that looks like this. I've had absolutely no surprises so far. There is spice, and it's like open door spicy, y'all. It's not my favorite, but it's okay. And so far, and I will tell you, I'm probably not going to tell you much more about the story because I feel like I've already maybe given away a little bit too much, but I'm not going to tell you much more, but I will tell you, so far the spice is contained. Like you see the spicy scene starting, and if you want to skip, you can skip to the end of the spicy scene if you don't want to like read about the, bumping of the uglies. And so far there have been no, like, y'all know how I hate books where there's surprise spice. Like if the spice is contained so that you can skip the spice, it's all good. But if there's like, you're driving down the road and there's like a flashback to the spice, and then the next thing you know, you're like full on, everybody's naked and things are happening. I don't think that's cool because then you can't just skip the spice. So far in this one, the spice is like, it's spicy, but it's contained. So you can skip the spice if you want to. And I mean, there are some elements to the spice that I'm not really enjoying, but whatever. So I like the characters. The banter is good. I mean, it's a little cheesy, but it's all right. Like, it's a good kind of cheesy, and y'all know how I love me some like cheese. So anyway, I am enjoying it. Cole and Story are very fun. Their friends are fun. So like the supporting characters are fun. They could do more with the supporting characters, but y'all, this stupid book is like 400 pages as it is. So 450 pages as it is. So if you try to do much more with it, I mean, it's going to end up being like a 3-part series. So anyway, they could do more with the supporting characters. They could probably do more with building the town if they wanted to, but I'm good with it so far. I'm going to finish reading it. Probably, I mean, I've got, 70 or 80 more pages to go. So I'm going to finish reading it today, and then we'll start another book, and I'll let you know if there's any, like, if anything changes. But so far, it's been pretty much like sappy, cheesy Christmas from the jump, like when you first get there. And so I was trying to think of how to say this, like how to characterize this. Story, the main character, and this might just be a Megan Quinn thing. If you're a Megan Quinn reader, then y'all let me know in the chat if this is like a normal thing. But Story, our main character, I feel like her language is a little bit, like it's a little bit abrasive. Like she's a little bit forward with her verbiage. Like, I don't want to say things that she says and be like forward and abrasive in my video, but like, she doesn't really, it's not like she says the F word or like cusses people out or anything, but she's like, when she refers, like the beginning of the book, it's super cold. Like they're in Colorado and it's really cold. And she's complaining about the cold by talking about like the reaction of a certain body part to the cold. And, she talks about that body part. And I mean, it's all right, but she does that often throughout the book. And I think that's a cheap shortcut of the author to show that this character is a little bit edgy, or like that, she's rough and tumble, something like that. And I just feel like, one, it's kind of a cheap trope. Like it's a cheap tool that this author uses. And I don't know, I just find it annoying. So, I mean, maybe it's just Story, and frankly, maybe it's just me. Maybe I just find it annoying that she does that. So, anyway, be prepared. Again, maybe it's just me, or maybe be prepared for that. That's all. But other than that, it's like very cute, very cheesy, very Christmassy all the way through. Well, all the way from jump to 3/4 of the way through. So I'll let you know if anything changes. And I'm not going to remember to say anything more about, I told you about the spice level, which normally I don't remember that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to tell you. If it turns out that there is like flyby spice, I will make a note to remember to warn y'all about that. But otherwise, it's contained spice. So if you want to skip those things, you can. And like the spice doesn't really, there's nothing, like they don't reveal anything during the spicy scenes that you need to read that you can't skip them. So that's that. I'm just stalling now because y'all, It is, I was going to turn y'all around and show you. The wind is just whipping outside, which means the garage is going to be cold, which is where the Peloton is, which is where I'm headed. So I'm stalling. But I'm going to let y'all go and stall on my own. So I'm going to finish this. I'll be back later, warm and toasty somewhere, and let you know what we're going to read next. All right, so y'all sit tight and I'll be back. All right, y'all, just a quick check-in. I am obviously finna get on the bike, but I wanted to check in and let you know that I finished How My Neighbor Stole Christmas. And did I tell y'all it was spicy? Oh, it got spicy. I think I told y'all that. I'm not going to tell you anymore because I think I already told you too much, but I just want to warn you, there's a bunch of spice. And like, I mean, maybe it's just me. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I was just in a mood, but I was like, Lord have mercy, you rutting monkeys. Can we stop with all the spice already? So anyway, done with that. And then y'all, I started Christmas in Quincy, which is why we're here. Because look, you can see it's a novella. It's like a little shorty. So I started it last night and I stayed up too late reading and I'm almost done with it. So I need to check in and let y'all know what we know before I finish. And then I can't tell you anything because I know the whole thing. And then I'm like, well, if I say anything, I'll say too much. So let me tell you what we know. It is a novella. It is I think I talked about all this before. It's like it's like 0.5 of the Edens series, which I haven't read, but apparently this one is out of sequence, and I guess it kind of is because I'm about to pop this. There we go. Because I read it and it made sense. So here's what I know. I don't know anything about the series, so I don't know which of these characters like you follow through the series or which ones you don't, but Cleo, who is a richy rich girl from California, goes to Montana to escape her richy rich family, her richy rich dad, for Christmas. And dad doesn't know, like, she just ran away. Like when the book opens, sorry, I'm going to put my foot up because my leg hurts. When the book opens, she's in Montana or getting to Montana or something for Christmas. So she has run away to Montana and calls to tell her dad, or no, wait, she's in Montana and come to find out, I don't remember, but come to find out, like I said, I stayed up last night reading, that so she doesn't want to deal with dad and like the big over the top party and all the things that the like nouveau riche tacky stepmom does at Christmas. So she just left. So come to find out that, so like they're rich and dad, like they have security. They're like that kind of rich. Well, she got mad and told dad, I don't want security anymore. So dad's like, okay, fine, no more security. Well, he's had like private, like secret security on her this whole time. So security's in Montana with her. So dad calls the security guard and says, bring her home. So he's like, all right, I'll bring her home. So that's the whole story, is like she's in Montana and won't leave. So the security guard has to stay there, or bodyguard, that's what it is, bodyguard, has to stay there with her. And y'all, it's so short, I cannot tell you much. So let me tell you this. I like the characters. The banter is good. It's not like great, but it's good. And it's a novella. And we know this about novellas, that there's not much character development, right? Like you kind of have to jump in and like start where you are and just work your way out, because there's just not time to build stuff. So you just kind of have to accept what you're given. So like we're given the developed characters, but because it's a novella, it's okay that they do that. So it's not like a show don't tell situation, like where they just like tell you things that they should be. You know how it drives us crazy when sorry, I have gum in my mouth because I was literally about to get on the bike and I was like, oh, I got to talk to my friends first. But it drives us crazy in a book where an author is like, oh, and when this character found out that his girlfriend had slept with his best friend and they had a baby, like, don't just tell us that. Show us how the character found this out, or show us like how he felt when that happened. Don't just tell us those things. Some of those things you just have to accept in a novella because it's 120 pages, right? And that event would take 120 pages to walk you through. So we learn things about these characters just like from being told them, and that's fine. So the characters are good. They're fun. The interactions between the characters are fun so far. Anyway, it could all fall apart on me. I'm about 3/4. I'm at like page, I don't know, 75-ish. So I have like 25, maybe 30 pages to go, not much. So I did not just do that math, y'all. I'm most of the way done. I have some stuff yet to read. So it's a teeny tiny little town of Quincy in Montana. It's all decked out for Christmas, which is why Cleo went there. So we're there with her and her bodyguard, whatever he is, secret agent man. And so she has a crush on him, which she can't let show. So she's a jerk to him so that he doesn't realize that she likes him. And he has a crush on her. So he's like, not mean, but like standoffish to her so that she doesn't know that he likes her. So like, that's the dynamic that we're dealing with. And so he, of course, is like professionally protective, but then super protective because he loves her. And she's, well, anyway, so there's all those things going on. So I'm going to go ride and read. I'm going to finish this on the bike because I have 2 hours to read and seriously like 50. I know I said 30 pages, but it's like 50 pages I have left to read. So I'm going to go ride and read, and I will let y'all know when I'm done. And then I'm going to show y'all what we have coming up because y'all, I'm so excited. So let me go ride and read. I'm about to freeze standing here. So I need to get moving. So let me do that, and I will check back in when I'm done. All right, so y'all sit tight. All right, y'all, I finished riding. And I almost forgot I was going to check in and tell y'all. Did I show y'all this up close? I had my hands full of hair before. Look how pretty this book cover is. I think, isn't that how I got obsessed with Devney Perry in the first place? Is her book covers are so cute. So anyway, I finished this on the bike. I almost forgot that I was going to tell y'all. I know, like, read a book, talk to your friends. It is literally what I do every day, and I keep forgetting I'm going to do it. So I finished. It was good. Enjoyed the story, enjoyed the characters. But, and y'all, I know that we know that you have to kind of allow for some things in novellas. I really liked I can't remember his name right now, our bodyguard guy, Austin. Austin? Yeah, I really liked him. That's my tea, by the way. I'm going to tell y'all about that in a second. But I really liked Austin up until, actually, right when I got on the bike, I started reading, and y'all, he just kind of started so he was like, y'all know I like my, like, bookmen alpha, right? Like if you have issues with that, you have issues with that. I'm sorry, I'm Gen X. We like our men to be men. So, and he was, I mean, he's a bodyguard, for goodness sake. Then he just started to get a little squishy on me. Now, it may well have just been that there were issues that they needed to deal with, and there's not much time to deal with them in a 130-page book. So that might be all it is. Devney Perry's men might actually not be squishy at all, because these are like, I mean, there are some pretty sort of traditional characters. So maybe it's fine. We're going to read some more of her books and we'll see. But this is definitely a thumbs up. I really enjoyed it. Very, very quick read. So, I mean, not right now, but we're going to read, I think I have the first book of the Edens, whatever the series is. So we'll read that come the new year and see what we think. So that's done. Y'all, it is time for The Christmas You Found Me. Now this one is Sarah Morgenthaler. Y'all remember we read you're going to laugh because I do this wrong every time, Moose Springs, because I want to say Moose Jaw, but that's a real place. The Moose Springs, I think it's a trilogy, and it's this little town in Alaska that becomes a tourist town, and it's all the things. Like, it's got the, like, townies who hate the tourist folks, but then the tourist folks are like the tourist industry, but the tourist industry is what's going to save the town. So they need the tourist industry. So it's just really good. And you've got like the townie people and the development of the relationships and all the things. I love those books so, so much. So I love Sarah Morgenthaler. And I've put off starting this book because, y'all, I really want to love it. I know I'm going to love it, but I'm just a little bit concerned for no reason whatsoever. There's like the third book of that, I think it's a trilogy. I read 3 books. I don't know if there are any more books, but the third one just kind of started to drag the thing out a little bit. Or maybe I was just tired of being in Alaska. I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to love this book. And there was a moose. It had a moose wandering about the town. So anyway, Sarah Morgenthaler, I believe this is maybe our female main character gets divorced or got divorced. And no, I'm mixing up books now because I'm thinking something about that she becomes the caregiver of this family and he like advertised for a nanny and she shows up, but that's not it. That's that book with the lips on the side. I have no idea what it's called, but I think we hauled that. So that's not this book. So now I don't know what this book's about, but I do think that maybe she got divorced. That's all I know. All right, I'm going to start reading this. I'm going to go edit some video, but then I'm going to read this and I'll come back and tell y'all absolutely anything about this because I know nothing apparently. So, oh, hang on. Let me grab my tea. Hang on. This, y'all, is a sample of Winter Solstice from the Tea Spot, which I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, I should not try this tea because here's what's going to happen. It smells really good. It smells like dark and broody, like a winter. I was like, am I doing my finger the wrong way? Like a winter solstice. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to love it. And it's a seasonal tea. So, and y'all, Tea Spot for real, when they run out of a tea, they ain't going to make no more until that season comes back around again. So when they run out of winter solstice, you can't get winter solstice again until next year. Like with their sugar cookie tea. Let me scoot y'all back a little bit. Which I bought. And then I was going to buy some for my mama for Christmas. No, you're not, because they're out of it. So anyway, this came as a sample in my last tea order, or in one of my tea orders. So I'm going to try it. And of course it's nice. Oh, it's so nice. Oh, it's not fabulous. Oh, okay, it's all right. It's good. It's all right. It's a black tea, and it's got licorice root and some cinnamon, maybe bergamot. Is that what I'm trying to say? But yeah, so it's really good. It's a nice, not heavy, but like almost heavy flavor tea. Like it's not fruity. It's like winter spices. Anyway, oh, the intern's here. I got to go. All right, I'm going to go read a book and I'll be back. I mean, not that the intern can't know I'm talking to y'all, but anyway, the intern is coming. So I don't know why I said that like I'm being all shady. But anyway, so I will be back later after I have read some of The Christmas You Found Me and let y'all know what it's actually about. All right, y'all sit tight. I'll be back. Y'all, I've been reading The Christmas You Found Me, and I got to tell you, I'm very concerned. So let me tell you what's up. I think when last we met, I knew nothing about nothing. So now I know some things about some things. It is, in fact, about a divorcee, Sienna. As the book opens, we find out that Sienna is like getting divorced that day. Like that's the day her divorce becomes final. And her best friend has run ads in the local paper and like hung ads around their teeny tiny little local Idaho town advertising for a replacement husband for Sienna just to like make a joke of the whole thing and to make it funny. Well, hottie Mr. Guy, whose name is Guy, who's a hottie Mr. Man from Montana, shows up to answer the ad. And things ensue. I'm not going to give you all the details, but come to find out, and I'm not going to tell you much because you need to find out on your own because y'all, it's so, so good, that Guy's daughter is sick. So Sienna marries Guy to help take care of his daughter. Y'all just excuse this hair because I'm just beside myself. And of course, you fall in love with Sienna, who marries this guy named Guy to help take care of his sick daughter. And you fall in love with the guy, and you fall in love with the daughter, who, y'all, she's like really sick. And we know that Sarah Morgenthaler is not scared to, one, kill off characters that we love because, well, Moose Springs. And so, let me back up. Sienna just divorced, lost pretty much everything in the divorce because all she cared about was keeping her family ranch. So she kept the ranch and lost like the trucks, the tractors, the everything, most of the animals off the ranch. So we have the ranch and the few animals that she kept. So y'all, Sarah Morgenthaler is not scared to kill characters that we love, and she ain't scared to kill an animal to break our heart. Let me refer again back to Moose Springs, Moose Jaw, Moose whatever it was, where we spent 3 books in Alaska. So y'all, I am on a dang tack because I love them. I love their friends. I love this little town in Idaho. I ain't never even been to Idaho. I know where Idaho is because I had to learn all my states and capitals because one of my students had to learn all of his states and capitals. So I know where Idaho is out. Oh, it's out that way from here. Anyway, I'm worried for my friends. I'm worried for the animals. I'm worried for this sweet little girl. I don't think Sarah Morgenthaler would kill off a little girl, but there are things that happened in Moose Springs that I never thought, Moose Jaw, Moose Springs, things that happened in Moose Springs that I never thought I would see happen. So I am concerned. The book is fantastic. The settings are so charming. And like the How My Neighbor Stole Christmas, it was fun, but it was not fun, but it was fun and it was very overdone. This is not overdone. Like, she gives us just enough to give us that like small town Christmas, freezing cold, like snow up to your yayas feeling, but without overdoing it, where the other book that Megan Quinn was completely overdone. It was very campy, and this is not. This is just very, I mean, not necessarily subtle, but just really well done. The banter is fantastic. And in the other one, and I mean, not that I'm comparing the 2 books, but I'm kind of comparing the 2 books. This is like in that one, you kind of like rush straight into the thing, but I guess you really don't because those characters had known each other kind of their whole lives. These 2 just met, like got married right after that. Did I tell you they get married? They get married right after they just met. So we're like getting to know them as they get to know each other. And y'all, it's just so fun and so charming. And I'm so afraid. Like, I'm so scared. So I'm going to go read. Well, obviously I'm finna get on the bike. So I'm going to get on the bike and I'm going to read some more. And I'm going to come back in and check in probably just one more time on this one. Because y'all, just because. And here's the thing. Even if I try to not tell y'all any more than I want to tell you, if something bad happens, you're going to know by the look on my face. So let me just go. I just realized anyway, there's like an elf over there on my table. Like just popped up out of the blue because the intern was up decorating last night after I went to bed. Anyway, let me go ride and read, and I'll come back and tell you at least a little more about things that I know, all right? So y'all sit tight, have a good morning, and I'll be back. Y'all, I have issues. I think I have battered reader syndrome or something because I'm about to shoot a video that I'm not going to post for like 3 weeks instead of finishing this book. I have like 20 pages to go, and I'm so scared of what's going to happen. I'm gonna finish it. I'm not going to leave our friends out in the wilderness, but I mean, not literally, but you know what I'm saying. But I'm so scared because look, okay, so y'all, we've been through all this before. So our female main character, Sienna, just said, and I quote, "I honestly can't remember being happier." I mean, is that the kiss of death or what? And then, I'm not going to tell y'all much because y'all know. I mean, if you know, you know, y'all know. I don't want to do spoilers, but the little stepdaughter just said, "Do you want to be my mommy?" Seriously. So now you know something horrible is finna happen. We're finna like go careening off the edge. And I am so scared because I love them so much. So all the same things I already said. Love the book, love the character. Can y'all see this felon? Like, he's like, "What is wrong with you, mama?" Love the characters, love the story, love all the things. I hate the way that I feel right now because Sarah Morgenthaler is not scared to break my heart. So I'm going to finish reading this book, and I'm not going to tell y'all another word about it because I've already told you too much. Oh no, I've said too much. So y'all, that is it. That is all I'm going to say about any of this. So to sum things up, all these books have been good. The How My Neighbor Stole Christmas, it was fun. It was goofy. That was about I don't know. I would give that one maybe a 3.5 because the spicy was. I mean, it was a lot of spicy, y'all. Like, it was a lot of spicy, and I enjoyed it. But I definitely recognize that you have to be in the mood for a certain kind of Christmas book to like that one. I should have these books here. The Devney Perry book. I just realized I do have them here. So the How My Neighbor Stole Christmas, the mid 3s, the Devney Perry book, Christmas in Quincy. It was fun. Okay, here's the deal. I'm going to rate it for a novella. So for a novella, I give it a good solid 3.75 because for novellas, we have to make exceptions, right? We have to accept the fact that we're going to jump in the middle of relationships. We're going to jump into developed characters because there's just not time to do all of that in a novella. So I give it a 3.75 because the male character, who was like good and male for a while, got a little mushy on me at the end. So 3.75 for that one, but we're going to read some more Devney Perry and hope that her male characters hold up from here on out. And The Christmas You Found Me, y'all, love. I'm going to give this one, I haven't finished it yet, but I give it a strong 4.25 stars, maybe 4.5 stars, depending. So the ending is going to be a big deal. I'm going to come back and stick a star rating here after I finish it, but I'm going to say 4.25 for sure right now. Great characters, great setting. They could do a little more with the peripheral characters like the other townies, which Sarah Morgenthaler does in her other books, but her other books don't develop the sort of main relationship as much as this one does. So maybe she's getting away from the sort of comedy bit of her rom-coms and more towards the romance, which I think she's done very, very well in this book. Y'all, spice level. There's been a tiny bit of spice, but not, I mean, it's been... if you've read this book, let us know in the comments what you think, but I think I would call it not closed door spice because, like, stuff's going on, but I don't think we've really seen anything. It's definitely not open door. So maybe like open door, you glance over your shoulder and you catch a little spice, like walking out, but nothing, like definitely not open door spice. So it's maybe a little bit, but not much. Love it. Absolutely love it. So y'all, those are my Christmas reading books. And unfortunately, now I think it's time to move on past my holiday reading and into my New Year reading. So let us know in the comments, what are you reading for the holidays? What did you read for the holidays? And what are you reading going into the new year? I'm dying to find out, so let us know in the comments. Y'all, thank you so much for hanging out with me through this entire reading adventure. If you made it this far, we are most definitely friends. So go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you can keep up with the shenanigans. I upload food and fitness videos at the beginning of every week with some book videos sprinkled in between. See you on the next one.